Pause for a moment and look around you. The world you see, the life you live, the circumstances you call your reality, every piece of it was once invisible. The house you live in, the money in your account, the clothes on your back, the job you hold, even the conversations you have. These all emerged from the unseen realm of thought, belief, and imagination. Everything that exists today was born first in the quiet chambers of the mind. But here's the astonishing truth most people ignore. That same creative power is active in you right now, whether you're conscious of it or not. You see, wealth doesn't begin with a paycheck. Riches don't start with a promotion, a lucky break, or some overnight miracle. The richest people in the world mastered something long before the world mastered something, long before the world ever saw their wealth. They mastered that reality is not something happening to them. The uncomfortable truth is, if you constantly imagine lack, you will live in lack. If your inner conversation rehearses fear, you will attract fear. But if you dare to imagine being rich daily, to feel the abundance as real now, even while your bank account tells another story, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your vision. I know the world trains you to believe in hard facts. You look at your current circumstances, your debts, your job, your empty wallet, and you say, but this is reality. No, my friend, that is simply evidence of the past. It is the harvest of your former thinking, your previous assumptions. The real power lies not in the facts you see, but in the vision you dare to hold beyond the facts. The poor man wakes up every day rehearsing struggle. He imagines bills piling up, opportunities slipping away, rejection, limitation, lack. And what does life give him? More struggle, more scarcity, more reasons to believe that wealth is out of reach. But the one who becomes rich is different. Long before the money shows up, they build their inner empire. They imagine being rich daily. They close their eyes and see the wealth, feel the lifestyle, taste the success, embrace the freedom. They rehearse abundance so vividly that it feels more real than their current circumstances, and like a magnet, life bends to their dominant inner image. It doesn't matter where you are today. You could be buried in debt, working a job you hate, living in conditions that crush your spirit. But if you start to imagine being rich daily, truly live it in your inner world, your outer world will respond. This is not wishful thinking, it's not delusion. It is the ancient, unshakable law that governs reality. You attract what you assume to be true. So ask yourself, what are you imagining daily? Are you rehearsing poverty or wealth? Are you marinating in fear or possibility? Are you stuck repeating the same story of lack? Or are you bold enough to rewrite your reality with the brushstrokes of your imagination? Because here's the mystery. Wealth starts within. It always has, it always will. The most relevant key point of the speech. The world cannot deny the person who persistently imagines being rich. Daily imagination conditions the mind to expect wealth. And what the mind expects, life delivers. Your reality reflects your dominant inner state. It's easy to believe that life happens to us, that we are simply reacting to circumstances, victims of luck, fate, or outside forces beyond our control. But the hidden truth, the one most people never grasp, is that your reality is nothing more than a reflection of your dominant inner state. Everything you experience on the outside, whether it's wealth, poverty, opportunities, or obstacles, is a direct projection of what you've been consistently imagining and feeling within yourself. Think of your life as a mirror. You cannot look into the mirror and expect to see a smiling face if you are frowning. In the same way, you cannot walk around every day marinating in thoughts of lack, fear, and limitation, and then expect abundance to greet you at the door. The mirror reflects what you present to it, not what you wish for, but what you assume to be true. And life does the same. Your dominant inner state is not a passing thought or a fleeting daydream. It's the deep, repetitive feeling and belief system that you carry quietly within, often without even realizing it. You might speak words of success, but if beneath the surface you constantly feel broke, powerless, or undeserving, that is the state shaping your reality. Life does not respond to words alone. It responds to the energy, the assumptions, and the feelings that dominate your inner. Look at those who consistently prosper, who seem to attract wealth and opportunity with ease. Do you think it's coincidence or luck? No, it's alignment. Their outer success mirrors an inner state of certainty, expectation, and abundance that they've cultivated over time. They've mastered the art of living rich within, long before the world recognized their success. On the other hand, consider those trapped in cycles of poverty, no matter how hard they work. They hustle endlessly, yet wealth remains distant. Why? Because their dominant inner state is one of lack. Even in moments of effort, beneath the surface, they expect struggle, they imagine rejection, they rehearse scarcity, and so life faithfully reflects that expectation. The secret few dare to practice is this: change your dominant inner state, and your reality must change too. You must begin to see yourself as rich, whole, and abundant within, even if your current circumstances tell a different story. You must walk in the feeling of wealth, carry the energy of prosperity, and embody the belief that abundance is your natural state. This is not fantasy. It is the foundational law of creation. The outer world follows the inner world, not the other way around. Your bank account, your job, your relationships, your opportunities, they are all downstream from your inner state. If you feel broke every day, life cannot deliver wealth. But if you imagine being rich daily, saturating your inner world with the feeling of wealth, success becomes inevitable. It's not a question of if, it's only a question of when. Imagination is the blueprint of your future. Everything you will ever achieve, possess, or experience begins first in the workshop of your imagination. It is within this unseen space that the blueprint of your future is designed, refined, and constructed. Most people underestimate the power of imagination, dismissing it as childish daydreaming or fantasy. But in reality, imagination is the creative engine that builds your life from the inside out. Think of every invention, every skyscraper, every luxury car, every million-dollar idea. It all began in someone's imagination. Long before the world saw it, it existed in the invisible realm of thought. The same principle applies to your wealth. Before you can experience being rich outwardly, you must design that reality within your imagination. But this is where most fall short. They imagine poverty. They imagine rejection. They play mental movies of failure and hardship over and over, and they don't even realize they're doing it. Their imagination, instead of being used to create abundance, becomes a tool that reinforces limitation. Yet those who master wealth understand this. Imagination is not optional. It is destiny. Every time you close your eyes and imagine being rich, you are drawing the architectural lines of your future reality. You are constructing the details, the experiences, the lifestyle, the freedom that will eventually manifest in the physical world. Your imagination holds no limits. You can live in a cramped apartment, yet within your mind walk through the halls of a mansion. You can stare at a nearly empty bank account, yet in your imagination feel the thrill of unlimited resources. The world may tell you to be realistic, but reality is nothing more than past imagination brought to life. Understand this deeply. Your imagination is not fiction. It is creation in its rawest form. What you hold vividly in your mind, consistently and emotionally, plants the seeds of your future experiences. This is why imagining being rich daily is so critical. You are rehearsing, preparing, and aligning yourself with the reality you desire to live. Some might ask, but what if my outer circumstances contradict what I imagine? That doesn't matter. The outer world is simply the echo of your past thinking. Your imagination carves the future. If you persist in imagining wealth, life must obey. The world has no choice but to construct in physical form what you have been constructing in thought. The key is consistency. You cannot imagine riches once and expect transformation. You must live there in your imagination. Feel the wealth, see the lifestyle, taste the freedom, engage every sense. The more real it becomes within, the faster life brings it forth without. Imagination is not escapism. It is the first stage of manifestation. Those who ignore this live by default, trapped by circumstances. But those who master imagination shape their future intentionally, like an artist with a blank canvas. Your wealth, your success, your abundant life, they are all waiting for you to design them first, in the realm of imagination. Daily mental rehearsal creates wealthy expectations. Every day, without realizing it, you are rehearsing a future for yourself. Your mind is not silent. It speaks, imagines, replays, and projects, constantly shaping the reality you will soon live. Most people rehearse fear, limitation, and struggle. They replay thoughts of lack. I'll never have enough. Money is hard to earn. Rich people are different from me. And unknowingly, these daily mental rehearsals condition them to expect scarcity. Life always aligns with those expectations. But those who understand the creative power of thought do something radically different. They imagine being rich daily. Not as a random wish, but as a disciplined mental rehearsal. They close their eyes, picture their wealthy life, feel the freedom, embrace the emotions of success, and immerse themselves in that experience repeatedly. Over time, these rehearsals hardwire new beliefs into their subconscious. Their minds start to expect wealth as naturally as they once expected struggle. Expectation is the hidden magnet that draws your experiences toward you. You cannot rise above what you expect. If deep down you expect failure, rejection, or financial hardship, life complies. But when your daily mental rehearsal trains your mind to expect riches, the universe begins to organize itself around that inner belief. You start seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles. People, ideas, and circumstances show up as if by design, moving you toward your imagined wealth. Consider elite athletes or world-class performers. They don't just practice physically, they mentally rehearse their success daily. They visualize victory, hear the applause, feel the accomplishment long before it arrives. And when the moment comes, their mind and body already know the path. The same principle applies to your wealth. You must mentally walk through your rich life every single day until your mind accepts it as reality. Repetition builds expectation, and expectation precedes manifestation. A person who imagines wealth occasionally, but then drowns in doubt and fear, sabotages their own progress. But the one who persistently imagines being rich builds an unshakable expectation for success. Over time, this expectation becomes so natural, so familiar, that wealth begins to flow in surprising and effortless ways. This is why your daily mental rehearsal is not a luxury, it is your responsibility. The mind left unattended drifts back to old patterns, conditioned beliefs, and scarcity thinking. But with discipline, you can overwrite those limitations. You can plant new seeds of wealth, nurture them through imagination, and harvest the results in your physical life. Remember, wealth begins as an internal rehearsal long before it becomes external evidence. If you want to experience riches, you must first feel them, live them mentally, carry their energy every day. The world cannot deny a person who consistently expects abundance because their inner world holds the blueprint that life must follow. You cannot experience what you don't first create within. The world you touch, see, and live in, the house, the car, the bank balance, the lifestyle, is always the secondary creation. The primary creation happens within. And if you refuse to create riches in your inner world, you will never hold them in your hands. It is a universal principle. You cannot experience on the outside what you have not first accepted, envisioned, and embodied on the inside. Most people try to reverse this process. They wait for external proof, the money, the success, the recognition, before they allow themselves to feel abundant. But the truth works in the opposite direction. The feeling, the vision, the inner creation must come first. Only then does the outer world rearrange itself to mirror that inner state. Look closely at your life right now. Whatever you consistently feel, believe, and imagine within is reflected all around you. If you feel broke, life mirrors lack. If you feel rich within, even when your circumstances suggest otherwise. The seeds of wealth are already growing, unseen but unstoppable. This is why most people stay trapped in cycles of frustration. They let their current reality dictate their inner state. If the bank account is low, they feel poor. If opportunities seem scarce, they feel hopeless. But that's the trap. You must break free from reacting to the outer world and start deliberately creating from within. Inner creation requires imagination, discipline, and faith. You must close your eyes and imagine being rich daily. You must walk mentally through the life you desire as if it already belongs to you. Feel the wealth, hear the freedom, taste the success. Let those inner experiences become so vivid that they feel more real than your present circumstances. The mind is not limited by time or space. You can create riches in your imagination regardless of where you are today. The person sitting in a small apartment can live in a mansion within their mind. The employee earning little can feel like a CEO in their imagination. When this inner state is held with conform to that internal blueprint. Creation is always an inside job. You build the castle in your mind before you ever step foot inside it. You live the wealthy life internally before it manifests externally. Those who forget this principle stay stuck, waiting for something to change. But those who create from within become the architects of their destiny. Your outer world is delayed evidence. It catches up to your inner world in time. So stop waiting for circumstances to give you permission to feel rich. Instead, create the wealth within daily and trust that life will bring the reflection in its own perfect way. Would you like me to expand the next 2 points now? Persistent imagination rewires limiting beliefs. One of the greatest obstacles to wealth isn't the economy, your education, or your connections. It's the limiting beliefs buried deep within your subconscious. These invisible scripts run your life, dictating what you believe you deserve, what you believe is possible, and what you unconsciously expect. If your mind is filled with beliefs like I'm not worthy of wealth, money is hard to get, or only certain people become rich, those beliefs become invisible walls that block your progress, no matter how hard you try on the outside. But here's the key most people overlook. You are not stuck with those limiting beliefs. You can rewire them, you can override them with new, empowering truths. And the most powerful tool for doing this is persistent imagination. When you imagine being rich daily, when you rehearse the feeling of wealth, the freedom of abundance, and the lifestyle of success, you begin to challenge and break apart the old beliefs that have held you captive. The subconscious mind doesn't argue with repetition. It doesn't question your logic. It simply absorbs what you feed it consistently. If for years you've been feeding your mind images of lack, failure, and limitation, then that's the world your mind has constructed around you. But the moment you commit to persistent imagination, daily intentional visualization of your wealthy life, You begin to plant new seeds in the soil of your subconscious. At first, your old beliefs may resist. You might hear a whisper inside saying, "This isn't real," or "You can't have that." That's normal. Those voices are echoes of the past, fragments of the old mental program running its course. But if you persist, if you keep feeding your mind with the feeling, vision, and assumption of wealth, something powerful happens. The old beliefs begin to lose their grip. Your subconscious cannot hold two conflicting dominant states at once. It will always lean toward what is fed most often with the greatest emotional intensity. When you imagine being rich daily, with feeling, with vividness, and with unwavering consistency, your subconscious begins to accept that version of reality as truth. Slowly, the walls of limitation crumble. The beliefs that once told you it's impossible are replaced with the certainty that it's inevitable. This is not instant, it's a process, a rewiring of the deepest parts of your mind. But the more you persist, the more your inner world transforms. And when your inner world changes, your outer reality follows like a shadow. You are not your past beliefs. You are not bound by the limitations society, family, or your environment placed upon you. You are the creator of your reality, and persistent imagination is your most powerful tool for rewriting the script. Wealth, success, and abundance begin with the stories you tell yourself daily. Rewrite the story. Live the new version in your imagination and watch as your world shifts to reflect it. Circumstances will bend to match your inner assumptions. Life does not happen randomly. Your circumstances, the people you meet, the opportunities that appear, the challenges you face are not accidents. They are mirrors of your inner assumptions. What you consistently assume to be true about yourself, your worth, your future, and your wealth becomes the invisible force shaping your reality. The world bends and adjusts itself to align with the picture you hold in your mind. Most people misunderstand this. They believe circumstances are fixed, immovable facts beyond their control. They look at their bank account, their job, their environment, and they surrender to the idea that this is simply how things are. But circumstances are fluid. They are not permanent. They are the delayed reflection of your dominant inner state. Change that state, and life has no choice but to rearrange itself accordingly. Your assumptions are powerful. If you assume wealth is only for others, life will affirm that belief. If you assume success is out of reach, your circumstances will comply. But when you imagine being rich daily, when you saturate your inner world with the assumption that wealth is yours, life begins to respond in ways that defy logic. Opportunities appear where none existed. The right people enter your path. Unexpected doors open. It may seem miraculous to those watching from the outside, but in truth, it is the natural outcome of inner alignment. Circumstances are not rigid, they are obedient to the energy you carry and the assumptions you hold. This is why it's essential to live in the state of wealth even before the physical evidence arrives. You cannot wait for circumstances to change before you feel rich. You must feel rich, assume wealth, and imagine being rich daily, and then watch as life bends to match your vision. The mistake most people make is reacting to the present instead of creating from within. They let their current reality dictate their feelings, and as a result, they stay trapped in cycles of lack. But those who understand the creative power of assumption rise above appearances. They carry the feeling of abundance even in the face of struggle, knowing that circumstances must eventually yield to the inner state. Circumstances are not dictators, they are reflections. The outer world does not lead, it follows. When you consistently live in the inner state of wealth, life conforms. It cannot resist the energy of unwavering inner conviction. So if you want to change your circumstances, stop focusing on them. Instead, focus on your assumptions. Change the picture within. assume wealth, live abundance mentally, and watch as life bends, reshapes, and aligns to match the vision you carry every single day. Wealth responds to the person who acts as if they are already rich. There is a hidden principle that governs the flow of abundance, yet few are bold enough to practice it fully. Wealth responds to the person who acts as if they are already rich. Notice, this isn't about arrogance, showing off, or pretending in the superficial sense. It's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors with the state of being wealthy, even before the world reflects that wealth to you. The average person waits. They wait for the money to arrive before they feel abundant. They wait for the promotion before they carry themselves with confidence. They wait for life to deliver riches before they permit themselves to live in the energy of prosperity. But those who truly understand creation know better. They reverse the process. They act from the state of wealth, not towards it. When you imagine being rich daily, you're not merely daydreaming. You are shifting your identity. You begin to walk, talk, think, and behave as though wealth is already your reality. You make decisions from abundance, not fear. You carry yourself with the certainty of someone who knows that resources are unlimited and that life always provides. This shift is magnetic. The world notices energy long before it notices external success. When you embody the mindset of wealth, opportunities gravitate toward you, people treat you differently, your posture changes, your conversations shift. You no longer approach life as someone lacking, but as someone overflowing. Acting as if you are already rich transforms small daily choices that have enormous ripple effects. You invest in yourself without hesitation. You pursue bold ideas. You reject scarcity thinking. You no longer beg for opportunities. You attract them by being aligned with a state of abundance. You understand? This is not about reckless spending or false appearances. It's about inner alignment. Even if your bank account is low, you carry the energy of someone whose wealth is inevitable. You no longer dwell in desperation. You dwell in the assumption that wealth is your natural state. The paradox is powerful. The world mirrors your inner reality, not your current circumstances. So when you act as if you are already rich, you collapse the distance between desire and manifestation. You no longer wait, you create. You no longer chase, you attract. Wealth, success, freedom, they all respond to the version of you that is bold enough to embody them in advance. When you live, think, and behave as though your wealth is already here, life conspires to make that vision your reality. Your wealth does not begin with numbers in a bank account or assets you can touch. It begins in the unseen world, the world of your imagination, your assumptions, and your inner state. Every rich person first became wealthy within, long before the evidence arrived. You hold the same creative power. Imagine being rich daily. Persist in seeing, feeling, and living your abundant life within, regardless of what your outer world shows today. Train your mind to expect wealth. Rewire your beliefs. Watch your circumstances bend to your inner convictions. Walk, talk, and live as though your wealth is inevitable, because it is. You are not waiting for riches to find you. You are creating them from within, moment by moment, vision by vision, assumption by assumption. The day you fully commit to living rich mentally is the day the world begins to shape itself around your new identity. Wealth is not something you chase. It is something you become. Imagine it, embody it, expect it, and life will have no choice but to deliver. Ask yourself, who are the voices you hear most often? Are they encouraging you to rise higher, or are they pulling you down into a mindset of fear and lack? Every conversation, every interaction, every piece of media you consume shapes your inner world. If you spend time with those who complain, criticize, and focus on scarcity, it becomes nearly impossible to believe in abundance. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with those who speak life, celebrate victories, and embrace possibilities, their energy becomes contagious, elevating your faith and vision. Creating a positive circle does not mean you must abandon everyone in your life, but it does require discernment. Be mindful of the company you keep. Prioritize relationships with those who share your values, encourage your growth, and believe in the power of God's provision. Seek out mentors, friends, and communities that embody abundance not just in material wealth but in generosity, kindness, and faith. Beyond people, consider your physical and digital environments. Is your home a place of peace and inspiration, or is it cluttered with reminders of stress and lack? Do the books, podcasts, and videos you consume fill you with hope, or do they perpetuate fear and negativity? Transform your surroundings to reflect the abundance you desire. Display scriptures, affirmations, and images that remind you of God's promises. Choose content that nurtures your spirit and strengthens your belief in what's possible. When you intentionally surround yourself with positive influences, you open the door to divine alignment. You'll notice how opportunities, ideas, and blessings begin to flow effortlessly. The people you connect with will inspire you to dream bigger, act bolder, and trust more deeply in God's provision. Their faith will strengthen yours, and their success will remind you of the infinite possibilities available to you. Remember, even Jesus surrounded himself with those who shared his mission and vision. If he sought out a supportive circle to fulfill his purpose, how much more should we? As you align yourself with positive influences, you are not only acting as if abundance surrounds you, you are ensuring that it truly does. Abundance is not something that happens to you, it is something that flows through you. And for that flow to increase, you must be willing to invest in your own growth. The Bible teaches that to whom much is given, much will be required, reminding us that abundance is both a blessing and a responsibility. If you desire greater blessings, you must become the person who can steward them well. Investing in your growth begins with a commitment to learning. Whether it's expanding your skills, deepening your knowledge, or developing your character, every step you take to grow makes you a better vessel for abundance. Consider the parable of the talents, where the servants who invested and multiplied what they were given were rewarded, while the one who buried his talent out of fear lost even what he had. This story is a powerful reminder that God blesses those who use and grow the gifts he has entrusted to them. Growth requires both humility and discipline. Humility to recognize that you don't know everything and that there is always room to improve. And discipline to put in the work required to change. Whether it's enrolling in a course, reading books that challenge your thinking, or seeking guidance from mentors, every effort you make to grow is an act of faith. It says, God, I am preparing myself for the blessings I know you are bringing. But growth isn't just about knowledge, it's also about character. Abundance without integrity is fleeting. To sustain the blessings you desire, you must develop the qualities that align with God's will: patience, kindness, humility, and resilience. These traits ensure that your abundance not only blesses you but also glorifies God and serves others. Investing in your growth may require sacrifices. It might mean spending less time on distractions and more time on self-improvement. It might mean stepping out of your comfort zone and facing challenges that stretch you. But every sacrifice you make is a seed planted in faith, and in due time it will bear fruit. Finally, remember that your growth isn't just for you. As you become more skilled, knowledgeable, and aligned with God's purpose, you are better equipped to bless others. Your success becomes a testimony, inspiring those around you to believe in the power of growth and abundance. By investing in yourself, you are not only acting as if you are surrounded by abundance, you are becoming the source of it for others. Rejoicing in the success of others is a powerful act that aligns you with abundance. Too often, people see someone else's achievements as a reflection of their own lack. They allow jealousy, resentment, or comparison to cloud their vision. But the truth is, celebrating others' victories is a declaration of faith in the limitless blessings of God. When you rejoice for others, you affirm that there is no scarcity in God's kingdom, only an overflow of abundance waiting to be shared. Imagine watching a close friend receive something you've been praying for: a promotion, a home, a relationship, or financial breakthrough. How do you react? Do you feel a pang of envy, or do you truly celebrate their blessing? It's easy to feel that someone else's gain diminishes your chances, but this couldn't be further from the truth. God's blessings are not limited. He has no shortage of resources or miracles. What He has done for one, He can do for you. And celebrating others' success positions you to receive your own. When you celebrate others, you align with the spirit of abundance. Your joy for them becomes a magnet for similar blessings in your life. Think of it this way: if you can't rejoice in someone else's harvest, how can you expect God to trust you with your own? Gratitude for what others receive reflects your readiness to handle your own blessings with grace and humility. This mindset also strengthens relationships and builds community. When you genuinely celebrate others, you create an atmosphere of encouragement and positivity. People are drawn to those who lift them up, not tear them down. By becoming a source of joy for others, you attract like-minded individuals who will celebrate your successes in return. You create a network of mutual support that fosters growth, inspiration, and abundance for everyone involved. But celebrating others doesn't mean ignoring your struggles or suppressing your desires. It means choosing to rise above negative emotions and trust in God's timing for your life. The blessings He has for you are uniquely yours and will come at the perfect moment. In the meantime, rejoice in the evidence of His work in the lives of others. Their success is not a threat, it's proof that His promises are true. Make it a habit to congratulate others sincerely. Speak life over their victories, whether big or small. Let their success fuel your faith, reminding you that God is in the business of answering prayers. Each time you celebrate someone else's win, you are planting seeds of abundance in your own life. You're affirming your belief in a God who doesn't just bless occasionally but abundantly, for all who trust in Him. The detachment from the outcome is one of the most liberating principles of abundance. It is a demonstration of unwavering faith in God's plan, a surrender to His divine timing, and a refusal to be enslaved by fear or desperation. Detaching from the outcome doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or desires. It means releasing the need to control how or when they manifest, trusting that God's ways are higher than your own. Many people live in constant anxiety, obsessing over results and fearing failure. They strive and toil, believing their efforts alone will determine the outcome. But this mindset creates tension, doubt, and frustration, which are the enemies of abundance. When you cling too tightly to the how, or when you block the flow of blessings that come from surrender and trust. Detachment begins with acknowledging that your role is to take inspired action while leaving the results in God's hands. Your job is to plant the seeds, water them with faith, and trust that the harvest will come in its season. It's a partnership with the Creator, where you do your part and allow Him to do His. The Bible reminds us, "Be still and know that I am God." This stillness is not inactivity, it is a quiet confidence that what is meant for you will never miss you. When you detach from the outcome, you free yourself from the pressure of perfection. You stop measuring your worth by external results and instead focus on becoming the best version of yourself. This shift in perspective brings peace, joy, and a deeper connection with God. You no longer chase blessings out of desperation, you attract them through faith and alignment. Detachment also opens the door for unexpected miracles. Sometimes what we think we want pales in comparison to what God has planned. When you release your grip on specific outcomes, you allow Him to work in ways that exceed your imagination. The blessing may come in a form you didn't anticipate, but will always be exactly what you need. Practically, detachment means taking steps toward your goals with joy and purpose, but letting go of the need to control every detail. It means praying not just for what you want, but for the wisdom to accept what God knows is best. It means trusting that delays are not denials, but divine preparations for something greater. As you practice detachment, you'll find yourself living with greater peace and freedom. You'll move forward with faith, knowing that abundance is not something you have to chase, it's something you attract by trusting in God's perfect plan. Life is filled with challenges, but where you direct your focus determines whether those challenges will overwhelm you or propel you toward abundance. The Bible teaches, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This profound truth reminds us that our reality is shaped by our thoughts. When you dwell on problems, you magnify them. But when you focus on solutions, you open the door to divine wisdom, creativity, and breakthroughs. Every challenge carries within it the seed of an opportunity. What may appear as a roadblock is often a disguised blessing, a chance for you to grow, strengthen your faith, and align yourself with God's purpose. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" begin to ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I move forward?" These questions shift your mindset from victimhood to victory, allowing you to see possibilities where others see only obstacles. Pause for a moment and consider this. What if the life you dream of, the wealth, the love, the joy, is not as far away as it seems? What if everything you desire is already here, waiting for you to step into it? Imagine living in a reality where every door opens effortlessly, every opportunity aligns perfectly, and every need is met even before you can articulate it. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's the essence of a profound truth many fail to grasp. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success effortlessly while others struggle endlessly, as if tethered to a life of scarcity? The difference lies not in resources, talent, or luck, but in one simple yet transformative act: the ability to feel abundance before it manifests. You see, abundance is not a reward, it is a state of being, a vibration you must learn to embody, regardless of what your external circumstances might say. Look around you. What do you see? Bills piling up, dreams deferred, relationships that seem to fracture under the weight of unmet expectations. Or perhaps you see a glimmer of hope, a fleeting sense that things could be different, if only you knew how to unlock the floodgates of possibility. Here's the secret. You already hold the key, and it lies in your ability to act as if abundance surrounds you. Close your eyes and ask yourself, if you truly believed you were surrounded by abundance, how would you feel? How would you walk into a room? How would you speak? How would you treat others? More importantly, how would you treat yourself? The answers to these questions reveal a profound truth. The life you desire begins with the energy you exude, and that energy must reflect abundance, even when reality tempts you to focus on lack. But let me challenge you further. Are you brave enough to silence the voice of doubt? Can you resist the urge to complain about what's missing and instead celebrate what's possible? To act as if you are surrounded by abundance is not to deny your current struggles, but to refuse to be defined by them. It is to live in a state of gratitude so deep, so genuine, that the universe has no choice but to align with the vibration you project. As we delve deeper, I want you to hold on to this thought. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. So the question is not, when will abundance find me? But when will I choose to embody abundance? You are the author of your reality, and the pen is in your hand. Will you write a story of scarcity, or will you craft a masterpiece of limitless potential? Stay with me as we explore 10 transformative ways to act as if you are surrounded by abundance. Each of these principles will guide you to shift your mindset, align your energy, and awaken to the infinite possibilities that have been waiting for you all along. The journey to abundance begins not in some distant future, but in the now. Embrace these principles, and you'll not just attract abundance, you'll become it. Gratitude is the foundation upon which abundance is built. It is the language of the soul that speaks directly to the Creator, affirming trust in His divine provision. When you wake up each day, before the worries of the world can cloud your mind, take a moment to acknowledge the blessings you already have. Look around with eyes of faith. The air you breathe, the beating of your heart, the roof over your head, these are not mere coincidences. They are signs of a Creator who has already blessed you with abundance. The scriptures remind us to give thanks in all circumstances, for it is gratitude that transforms what we have into enough. A grateful heart is one that acknowledges that even in moments of lack, the seeds of abundance are already planted. When you thank God for what you have, you activate a divine law that multiplies blessings. It's as though heaven hears your gratitude and responds, "Because you trust me, I will give you more." Gratitude is not only an act of thanksgiving, it is a declaration of faith. When you express gratitude, even for things you cannot yet see, you are aligning yourself with the frequency of abundance. This is a spiritual principle as ancient as time. That which you appreciate grows. Complaining, on the other hand, binds you to scarcity. It focuses your energy on lack and blinds you to the opportunities God is placing before you. The key is to start small. Keep a journal and write down 3 things you are grateful for each morning. Speak these blessings aloud in prayer, as if whispering them directly into the ear of the divine. And when the day tests you, when challenges arise and scarcity tempts you, choose to return to gratitude. Thank God, not only for the blessings you see, but for those that are yet to come. This is faith in action, a heart that trusts in the unseen, knowing that the God who provides manna in the wilderness is the same God who watches over your life today. Visualization is not merely an act of imagination, it is an act of faith. When you visualize abundance, you are co-creating with the divine, aligning your mind with the reality that God has already ordained for you. Close your eyes and see the life you desire, but do not just see it, feel it. Feel the joy of receiving, the peace of living without worry, and the fulfillment of knowing your needs are met. This is not daydreaming, it is a spiritual practice. The Bible says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. When you visualize, you are engaging with this truth. You are stepping into the substance of your faith, believing that the blessings you seek are already prepared for you. Imagine yourself walking through the doors of opportunity, not as a beggar but as an heir. See yourself thriving in the abundance that God has promised. In your visualization, be specific. Picture the details of your dream life as if they are already yours. See yourself in the home you desire, with the people you love, doing the work you were created to do. Envision yourself giving generously, being a blessing to others. Speak these images aloud in prayer, claiming them as promises fulfilled. Visualization also helps you overcome fear and doubt. When the enemy whispers lies of inadequacy or scarcity, return to the vision God has placed in your heart. Let it remind you of His promise to supply all your needs according to His riches in glory. The act of visualizing abundance strengthens your faith and keeps you focused on the higher calling God has for you. Commit to this practice daily. As you visualize, let your heart be filled with gratitude, your soul with faith, and your spirit with expectation. Trust that as you see it in your mind, it will unfold in your reality, for we serve a God who honors faith and rewards those who diligently seek Him. Words carry power, divine power. When you speak, you are not merely forming sounds, you are declaring realities, shaping your environment, and aligning with either abundance or lack. The scriptures teach us that life and death are in the power of the tongue, emphasizing the profound impact of what we say. If you desire a life of abundance, your language must reflect it. You cannot speak words of lack and expect blessings to follow. Think about this. How often do you find yourself saying things like, "I can't afford this," "Nothing ever works out for me," or "I'm not good enough"? These words are not harmless, they are declarations that reinforce scarcity. They create an energetic barrier between you and the blessings God is ready to pour into your life. To change your reality, you must change your words. Instead, choose to speak the language of abundance. Say, "I am blessed and highly favored. God is my provider, and I have everything I need." These affirmations are not empty words, they are faith-filled declarations that align with the promises of God. Even if your circumstances seem to contradict your words, continue to speak life. Faith is not about what you see, it's about what you believe and declare into existence. When you speak abundance, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is possible. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. Your words inspire hope, build confidence, and invite divine intervention. But speaking abundance also requires discipline. Resist the urge to complain, criticize, or dwell on negativity. Instead, use your words to bless others, to encourage, and to express gratitude. Each morning, speak abundance over your life as part of your prayers. Declare that God's blessings are chasing you down, that opportunities are finding you, and that you are a vessel of His provision. Throughout the day, guard your tongue as a sacred tool for manifesting the life God has prepared for you. The words you speak will become the reality you live. Generosity is the ultimate act of faith in abundance. It says, I trust that God's provision is endless and that He will continue to supply my needs. When you give, you break the chains of scarcity that try to bind your heart. You step into the flow of divine abundance, for the scriptures remind us, give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Giving is not about the size of the gift, but the spirit in which it is offered. Even when resources feel limited, a generous heart says, I will give what I can, knowing that God is my source. This act of faith creates a spiritual ripple effect. What you release into the lives of others will find its way back to you, multiplied. It's a divine principle that cannot fail because it is rooted in God's promise. But generosity is not limited to material wealth. You can give your time, your attention, your encouragement, your talents. Look around you, someone is praying for the very blessing you are capable of offering. When you give, you are not just meeting a need, you are partnering with God to bring abundance into the world. And as you give, you align yourself with the character of the Creator, who is the ultimate giver. Let giving become a daily practice. Start small if needed, but do it with a joyful heart. Buy a meal for someone in need, lend a listening ear, or offer a kind word to someone who is struggling. These acts of generosity may seem small to you, but they can be life-changing for someone else, and they are a testament to your trust in God's provision. As you give, watch how the flow of abundance begins to surround you. Needs you didn't even realize you had will be met. Opportunities will arise seemingly out of nowhere. This is divine law of reciprocity at work. Giving generously doesn't deplete you, it expands your capacity to receive. And in doing so, it transforms you into a living example of abundance, inspiring others to trust in God's limitless provision. Who you surround yourself with has a profound impact on your mindset, your energy, and ultimately the reality you create. The scriptures warn us that bad company corrupts character, but the inverse is equally true. Surrounding yourself with positive influences cultivates faith, joy, and abundance. If you desire to act as if you are surrounded by abundance, you must intentionally line yourself with people, environments, and resources that uplift and inspire you. Focusing on solutions requires you to trust in the promises of God. The scriptures tell us, with God, all things are possible. No problem is too big, no circumstance too overwhelming for the Creator who parted seas and raised the dead. When you anchor your faith in this truth, you approach challenges with a sense of confidence and expectancy, knowing that the same power that sustains the universe is working on your behalf. This mindset doesn't mean ignoring your problems or pretending they don't exist. It means choosing not to dwell on them. Instead of replaying negative scenarios in your mind, direct your thoughts and energy toward finding ways to overcome. Pray for guidance, seek counsel from trusted sources, and take practical steps forward. Even small actions taken in faith can lead to significant breakthroughs. Focusing on solutions also shifts your emotional state. Dwelling on problems breeds fear, anxiety, and frustration, which block the flow of abundance. But when you focus on solutions, you feel empowered, hopeful, and inspired. This positive energy attracts more opportunities, ideas, and resources, aligning you with the abundance that God has already prepared for you. Surround yourself with people who are solution-oriented. These are individuals who encourage you, challenge you to think differently, and remind you of your potential. Avoid those who dwell in negativity or discourage you from moving forward. Your focus is a sacred resource, guard it well. In every challenge, see an opportunity to partner with God. Let your faith guide you, your creativity inspire you, and your actions reflect your belief in a limitless future. Problems are temporary, but the abundance of God's provision is eternal. Acting as if you already have what you desire is one of the most transformative principles of abundance. It is a powerful demonstration of faith, a declaration that you believe in the unseen promises of God. The Bible tells us faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. To act as if you already have it is to live in alignment with this truth, trusting that God's provision is already on its way. When you act as if you already have abundance, you shift your mindset and energy. Instead of longing, you begin to live with gratitude, confidence, and joy. This state of being aligns you with the flow of blessings, for God responds to faith, not fear. Acting as if is not about pretending or deceiving yourself. It's about embodying the qualities of someone who has already received the life they desire. Consider this: if you truly believe that God had answered your prayers, how would you behave? Would you walk with confidence, speak with assurance, and make decisions boldly? Or would you hesitate, doubt, and live in fear? Acting as if requires you to step into the version of yourself that already exists in your vision. It means dressing, speaking, and living in a way that reflects your belief in God's promises. This principle is not limited to material abundance. If you desire peace, act as though you already have it. Create moments of stillness in your day, speak words of calm, and release worries to God. If you desire love, embody the qualities of love, kindness, patience, and generosity. If you desire success, adopt the habits and mindset of a successful person. Acting as if also means letting go of behaviors and thoughts that contradict abundance. Stop complaining about what you lack and start celebrating what you believe is coming. Avoid engaging in self-pity or negative speech. Instead, speak life over your dreams and trust that God is working behind the scenes to bring them to fruition. Faith is active, not passive. It requires you to take steps toward your vision, even when the path is unclear. Acting as if shows God that you trust Him fully, that you are preparing yourself to receive His blessings. It is a form of worship, a way of honoring Him by living in alignment with His promises. When you act as if, you become a magnet for abundance. Opportunities, relationships, and resources begin to align with your faith-filled energy. Doors that once seemed closed will open, not because of your striving, but because of your trust. Act as if, and watch how God moves mightily on your behalf. As we bring this journey to a close, I want you to remember that abundance is not a destination, but a way of being. It begins with your thoughts, manifests through your actions, and blossoms in your unwavering faith. You are not bound by your circumstances. You are shaped by the vision you hold, the faith you embody, and the choices you make each day. The life you desire is already within reach. The seeds of abundance have been sown in your spirit by a Creator who longs for you to live a life of joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Your role is to water those seeds with gratitude, nurture them with faith, and act as if the harvest is already here. This is not merely a principle of success, it is a testament to the divine power that resides within you. Let me remind you, the world will always offer reasons to doubt, to shrink, and to settle for less. But you are not created for mediocrity. You are designed for greatness, for abundance, and for impact. When you act as if you are surrounded by abundance, you shift the narrative of your life. You move from fear to faith, from scarcity to surplus, and from hope to manifestation. Before we part, I leave you with this challenge: begin today. Start where you are with what you have, and embrace the truth that abundance is not something you wait for, it is something you step into. Speak life over your dreams. Celebrate the victories of others. Focus on solutions, give generously, and act as though every promise God has made to you is already fulfilled. Each moment is an opportunity to align with the abundant life you were created to live. Do not let doubt or delay rob you of your blessings. Trust in the one who holds your future. and walk boldly into the life that is waiting for you. As you go forth, carry this truth in your heart. You are surrounded by abundance. Let your actions, your words, and your faith declare this to the world. And as you do, you will see that abundance is not just a possibility, it is your destiny. Thank you for allowing me to share this message with you. May your faith grow, your dreams flourish, and your life overflow with the abundance that only comes from above. Go forth with courage, gratitude, and a heart full of expectation. Your best days are ahead. Imagine for a moment that everything you desire is already yours. All the wealth, all the opportunities, all the success that you have ever dreamed of, everything is right here, right now. You have no need to chase it, no need to wait for the right moment, because it has already been manifested. The only thing standing between you and this reality is your focus, the way you choose to see the world around you. The truth is, the world you experience is a reflection of your thoughts. Your current circumstances, your bank account, your relationships, they are all the result of your mental focus. And the great news is that you have the power to change your focus at any moment, and in doing so, change the entire trajectory of your life. To become super rich, not just in wealth, but in abundance of everything, joy, peace, opportunity, you must first shift your focus from lack to abundance. Many people, when they think of wealth, think of it as something that is outside themselves. They look at the world around them, at others who have what they want, and believe that they are somehow different, that they are not worthy of the same success. But the truth is, wealth is not a distant dream, it is already inside of you. Your focus, your attention, is the key that unlocks the door to the life you desire. If you are focused on lack, on what you don't have, on how much farther you have to go, then that is what you will continue to create. Your focus on scarcity, on struggle, will only attract more of the same. However, when you shift your focus to abundance, when you start to see the world as a place filled with infinite possibilities, you will begin to attract wealth effortlessly. The key to wealth is not to chase after it, but to align yourself with it. This means believing that you are deserving of wealth, that you are capable of achieving your dreams, and that the universe is ready and willing to provide. When you change your focus, when you shift from a mindset of lack to one of abundance, the entire world will begin to reflect that shift. Opportunities will appear, resources will flow, and you will find yourself in the right place at the right time always. Understand this, your thoughts are more powerful than you realize. They are the architects of your life, the builders of your reality. If you want to become super rich, you must start by thinking rich thoughts. Envision the wealth you desire as if it is already in your hands. Feel the excitement, the gratitude, the joy of having what you want right now. The more vividly you can imagine this reality, the more real it will become. The universe does not respond to what you need, it responds to what you believe you deserve. If you focus on the idea that wealth is your natural state, that it is your birthright, you will start to see changes in your life. Doors will open, new opportunities will arise, and you will find yourself in a state of flow, effortlessly attracting everything you need to manifest your desires. In order to be super rich, you must first believe that you are worthy of being rich. You must focus on your own limitless potential and on the infinite abundance that surrounds you. Every moment is an opportunity to focus on the wealth that is already yours, to step into the reality that you are the creator of your life, and that wealth is simply a reflection of your inner beliefs. You are not waiting for something to happen, you are creating it. The life you want is not some distant dream. It is here in this moment, waiting for you to align with it. When you change your focus, you change your reality. And when you change your reality, you will find that you are not just rich in money, but in every area of life. There was a person once who had nothing. They were living paycheck to paycheck, feeling as though there was no way out of the struggle. They worked hard every day, but no matter how much effort they put in, their financial situation never seemed to improve. They had dreams of wealth, dreams of success. But every time they looked at their life, it felt as though they were too far from their goal. One day, after experiencing yet another setback, they decided to do something different. They decided to stop focusing on their lack, on what they didn't have, and instead they began to focus on the possibility of abundance. They started to visualize themselves as a successful, wealthy person. They imagined waking up every day with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that all their needs were taken care of and more. At first, the shift was small. The doubts crept in, and it was hard to fully believe that things could change. But they kept focusing on the vision of themselves as rich, successful, and capable. They visualized not just the money, but the lifestyle, the freedom, the opportunities, and the joy that came with it. They felt the gratitude of already having it all, and the more they focused on it, the more it became real to them. Today, that person is living a life they once thought impossible. They are not only financially successful, but also deeply fulfilled in every area of life. They learned the secret by changing their focus. They changed their reality. And this is available to everyone. You have the power to create the life you want, starting with a shift in your focus. Your wealth is not outside of you, it is within you, waiting to be realized. You are the creator of your own fortune. All it takes is the courage to believe, and the focus to bring it into being. The journey to immense wealth begins not in the bank, not in the market, not even in your actions, but in your mind. Consciousness is the foundation upon which all riches are built. What you believe, what you truly know to be true about yourself and the world, shapes the reality you live in. Your world is not a random collection of events or circumstances, it is a mirror reflecting the contents of your mind. If you believe that wealth is scarce, hard to come by, or reserved for others, the world will faithfully show you those beliefs. But if you dare to see yourself as someone who attracts prosperity effortlessly, someone whose life is filled with abundance, your outer world will shift to reflect this inner knowing. Consider this: have you ever noticed how some people seem to have opportunities fall into their laps? They are not luckier or more talented than you. The difference lies in their state of consciousness. They expect wealth. They expect success. And because they expect it, it comes. Consciousness is the magnet that draws experiences to you. The thoughts you hold repeatedly, the beliefs you nurture in the quiet moments of your day, are seeds planted in the soil of reality. If you want to get rich beyond your wildest dreams, you must start by examining your thoughts about money, wealth, and abundance. Are they thoughts of lack, fear, or struggle, or are they thoughts of ease, opportunity, and gratitude? The truth is, wealth is already all around you, waiting to be claimed. But you cannot see it, much less grasp it, if your mind is focused on scarcity. To change your financial reality, you must first change the state of your mind. It all begins with a shift in focus. Instead of dwelling on what you don't have or what you fear, train your mind to see the possibilities, the hidden wealth in every moment, every situation, and every person. This isn't about blind optimism, it's about becoming aware of the power you hold to shape your life. Every thought, every feeling, every belief is a brushstroke on the canvas of your existence. If you want to paint a life of wealth, start by choosing thoughts that radiate abundance. Everything begins in the imagination. It is the most powerful tool you possess, the divine gift that allows you to shape your reality. If you can see it vividly in your mind and feel it as though it is already yours, it must come to pass. The imagination is not a place of idle fantasies or fleeting daydreams, it is the workshop of creation. Whatever you imagine with conviction becomes the blueprint for your future. Think of wealth not as something distant, something outside of you that you must chase. Instead, see it within your mind as if it is already here. Close your eyes and picture the life you desire, the freedom, the joy, the comfort of having more than enough. Feel the weight of financial ease lifting from your shoulders. See yourself living in that beautiful home, driving that car, or building the legacy that your heart longs for. In those moments of vivid imagining, you are not pretending. You are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your reality. Most people dismiss imagination, thinking it is disconnected from reality. But the truth is the opposite. The world you see around you was once someone's vision, someone's inner creation. Every building, every innovation, every great fortune began as a thought, a picture held within the mind of its creator. Your imagination holds the same power. It is the starting point of all success, and the wealth you seek is born there. You must feel it as real, though your senses may tell you otherwise. You may not see the money in your bank account yet, but that does not matter. What matters is that you see it clearly in your mind. What matters is that you feel the joy and certainty of having it now. This feeling, this conviction, is what moves mountains, rearranges circumstances, and draws opportunities into your life that you could never have predicted. When you imagine, do so with complete faith. Let your imagination be bold, unrestricted, and vivid. You are not asking for permission to create, you are claiming what is already yours. Wealth is not something you pursue, it is something you assume. It is a state of being, and that state is first nurtured in the quiet, unseen corners of your imagination. Do not underestimate this power. Everything you desire is waiting for you to imagine it fully and feel it deeply. When you do, the world will conspire to make it your reality. Your focus is the key to everything. What you place your attention on grows, multiplies, and defines the world around you. The truth is, most people remain trapped in a cycle of lack because their focus is consumed by what they don't have. They wake up thinking about their problems, they carry thoughts of scarcity throughout their day, and they go to bed fearing they'll never have enough. But what they don't realize is that their focus is like a magnifying glass. It intensifies whatever it is pointed toward. Focus on lack, and lack grows. Focus on abundance, and abundance flourishes. The world you live in right now is nothing more than a reflection of your dominant focus. If you find yourself surrounded by struggles or feel like opportunities are out of reach, it's not because the world is against you, it's because you have unintentionally fed those realities with your attention. The good news is, the moment you redirect your focus, your reality will begin to change. You must decide right here and now to shift your attention from scarcity to abundance. Picture this, imagine holding a flashlight in a dark room. Wherever you point it, that's all you can see. If you focus on a corner filled with shadows, the room feels small and oppressive. But if you shift the beam of light toward the open doorway, suddenly you realize there's a way out, a path forward. Your focus works the same way. When you dwell on problems, debts, and fears, all you see are barriers. But the moment you focus on wealth, possibilities, and solutions, you discover opportunities that were invisible before. The shift begins with awareness. Take a moment and ask yourself, what am I focusing on right now? Is it what I want, or is it what I fear? Most people don't realize how much energy they waste thinking about what they don't have. They replay worries in their minds, they talk about their struggles to anyone who will listen, and in doing so, they unintentionally anchor themselves to the very lack they want to escape. But you can break free by changing where you direct your thoughts. Focus on what you desire with clarity and consistency. Think of wealth not as something distant, but as something that is already flowing into your life. Notice every small sign of abundance around you, a kind gesture, a new idea, a chance encounter, and celebrate it. Each time you shift your focus to gratitude for what is possible, you strengthen the vibration of abundance within you. And as that vibration grows, the outer world cannot help but reflect it. Your focus is your power. Do not let it wander aimlessly or cling to thoughts of lack. Instead, train it like a muscle. Direct it toward wealth, joy, and limitless opportunities. As you do, the universe will rearrange itself to bring you what you desire. You are always shaping your life with your focus. The question is, are you focusing on what you want or on what you fear? The answer to that will determine the riches that flow into your life. The secret to transforming your life and attracting wealth lies in the simple yet profound act of assuming the feeling of already being rich. It's not enough to wish for money or hope for success. You must embody the state of wealth right now, regardless of what your outer world looks like. The power is in your ability to shift from thinking about what you want to living as though you already have it. This is not pretending, it's creation. Consider this: how would you feel if you woke up tomorrow and all your financial dreams had come true? If the bank account showed more than enough, if the home you always dreamed of was yours, if the weight of worry and lack had been lifted completely, what would that feel like? Wouldn't you walk differently, speak differently, hold your head higher, breathe more easily? That feeling is the key, and you can claim it right now in this moment. You don't need to wait for external evidence. In fact, the evidence will only appear when you generate the feeling first. Most people live in the gap between where they are and where they want to be, constantly longing, constantly doubting, constantly feeling incomplete. But longing only creates more longing. To bridge the gap, you must assume the feeling of already being the person who has what you desire. Act as if your wealth is already here, not by spending recklessly or pretending outwardly, but by embodying the mindset, confidence, and gratitude of someone who lives in abundance. When you assume the feeling, the world around you begins to shift in ways you cannot explain. It's not about ignoring your current reality or denying what's in front of you. It's about refusing to let your present circumstances dictate your inner state. If you let the outer world control how you feel, you will always be a prisoner to it. But when you take control of your inner world, the outer world has no choice but to align with it. Assume the feeling of freedom. Feel the ease, the joy, the excitement of living a life where wealth flows to you effortlessly. Hold on to that feeling as if it's the most precious treasure you possess. When you assume the feeling, you align yourself with the frequency of abundance. And when you're aligned, opportunities come knocking, doors open that you never knew existed, and resources find their way to you with ease. This isn't magic, it's the natural law of creation. The universe doesn't respond to what you say you want, it responds to what you believe you already have. That belief, that feeling, is the blueprint from which your reality is built. You don't need to know how it will happen. Your only job is to feel as though it already has. Walk through your day with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that wealth is inevitable. Speak, think, and act as though you are already living the life you desire. And as you do, the world will bend to match the state of mind you've chosen. The feeling is the secret, and it is within your reach at every moment. Take it, live it, and watch as wealth flows to you effortlessly. The words you speak, whether aloud or in the quiet chambers of your mind, hold immense creative power. They are not just fleeting sounds or random thoughts, they are commands issued to the universe, instructions that shape your reality. Every sentence you speak about your life, about your finances, about your possibilities, is either building the wealth you desire or reinforcing the lack you fear. Listen to yourself closely. What do you say when you talk about money? Do you tell stories of struggle, frustration, or limitations? Do you catch yourself saying things like, "I can't afford that," or "money doesn't grow on trees"? Every time you utter these words, you are declaring your allegiance to scarcity. You are affirming a state of lack and, in doing so, perpetuating it in your life. But the moment you change your words, the moment you consciously choose to speak abundance, you set a new reality into motion. Start speaking as though you are already rich, not from a place of false bravado, but with quiet certainty. Let your words reflect the abundance you seek. Replace "I don't have enough" with "I always have more than enough." Instead of saying "I'm struggling to make ends meet," declare, "Money flows to me easily and effortlessly." These are not just phrases, they are seeds planted in the soil of your subconscious mind. And just like any seed, they will grow and bear fruit when nurtured with faith and repetition. But it's not just about saying the words, it's about feeling them as true. Speak with conviction. Feel the excitement, the gratitude, the joy of knowing that wealth is already yours, even if your outer world has yet to catch up. Words spoken with feeling are infinitely more powerful than words spoken out of habit. They carry a vibration that resonates far beyond what you can see. They draw to you people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with the reality you are declaring. Be mindful of the words you speak in passing. Casual complaints about money, even when they seem harmless, are like tiny drops of poison that seep into your subconscious. Instead, choose to speak only words that uplift, empower, and affirm the wealth you are creating. Speak as though the universe is always listening, because it is. Every word is heard, every thought recorded, and the reality you live in is simply an echo of what you've spoken before. Your words are your power. Use them wisely. Speak life into your finances, declare prosperity over your future, and affirm abundance at every opportunity. As you do, the universe will move mountains to align with the story you are telling. Wealth is not something you chase, it's something you command with the words you choose. So start speaking abundance today, and watch as your world transforms to match the truth of your spoken word. Your mind is the blueprint for your life. Every great invention, every remarkable achievement, every towering fortune began first as a vision in someone's mind. They dared to see what others couldn't, to believe in a reality that didn't yet exist. They didn't wait for the evidence to appear, they became the evidence. They held the picture of their dream so vividly, so passionately, that it began to take shape in the world around them. And this is exactly what you must do. If you want to be rich, you must train your mind to think in pictures of wealth. See yourself as successful, prosperous, and thriving in every way. Build that vision so strong that it becomes more real to you than your current circumstances. Because here's the truth, your outer world is always playing catch up with your inner world. The stronger and clearer your vision, the faster your reality will shift to align with it. But a vision without faith is like a seed without water. You must believe in what you see, even when the physical evidence seems to say otherwise. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, moments when your current circumstances try to pull you back into old patterns of thinking. In those moments, hold on to your vision. Protect it fiercely. Remind yourself that the world you see now is temporary, but the vision you hold within is eternal. Feel the excitement of your vision as though it's happening right now. Imagine the ease, the joy, the gratitude of living a life where wealth flows to you effortlessly. Don't just think about the money itself, think about what it allows you to do. The experiences, the freedom, the opportunities to give and create. Let that vision fill every part of you until you cannot help but act in alignment with it. Your vision is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's not just a fleeting thought or a wishful idea, it's the blueprint that guides your thoughts, actions, and energy. The clearer your vision, the more magnetic your life becomes. And people, opportunities, and resources will be drawn to you. Not because of luck, but because you've created an energetic field that aligns with abundance. So hold on to your vision. See it, believe it, live it. The moment you make it real in your mind, the universe begins the work of making it real in your life. Everything begins with a vision. And that vision is your greatest power. Use it. Expand it. Watch as the wealth you once dreamed of becomes the reality you live. Imagine for a moment the energy you carry when you are grateful. Think about the warmth that fills your heart when you truly appreciate something, a beautiful moment, a kind gesture, or even the simplest things in your life. That feeling is magnetic. It's not just a pleasant emotion, it's a powerful force that aligns you with abundance. Gratitude is the secret key that opens doors to wealth and prosperity, yet most people overlook it because they think they need to have everything they desire before they can be thankful. But the truth is, gratitude is not the result of abundance, it is the cause of it. If you want to attract extraordinary wealth, you must start by appreciating the wealth you already have, no matter how small it seems. The universe responds to the energy you put out. When you focus on lack, even unintentionally, you attract more lack. But when you shift your focus to gratitude, When you choose to see all the ways you are already blessed, you align yourself with the frequency of receiving. It's like a ripple effect. One wave of gratitude creates another, and another, until your entire life is filled with the overflow. Think about this. How can you expect more to flow into your life if you are not even grateful for what you have now? If you treat what you have with disdain or overlook it entirely, you are sending a message to the universe that you are not ready for more. But when you look at your current situation with eyes of appreciation, even if it's not where you ultimately want to be, you create space for miracles. Gratitude is the language of abundance, and it always says, I am ready for more. Start small if you need to. Take a moment each day to reflect on the things you are thankful for. It could be the roof over your head, the food on your table, or even the simple fact that you woke up this morning. As you practice this, you will notice a shift. The more you give thanks, the more reasons you will find to be thankful. This is not a coincidence, it is the law of creation in action. What you focus on expands, and when you focus on gratitude, you invite more into your life to be grateful for. Even when circumstances seem challenging, find anything to appreciate. Gratitude in the face of adversity is one of the most powerful acts of faith you can perform. It says, I trust that this moment is leading me to something greater. And that trust, that energy, has the power to transform any situation. Gratitude is not about ignoring your desires or settling for less, it's about creating the foundation for more to come. When you combine gratitude with a clear vision of what you want, you become unstoppable. You are no longer chasing wealth, you are attracting it effortlessly, because you have tapped into the flow of abundance. Wealth flows where gratitude grows. So begin now. Take stock of all the blessings in your life, no matter how big or small. Feel the gratitude deeply. Let it fill your heart, and watch as the world rearranges itself to match your energy. Gratitude is the seed from which every form of abundance grows. Plant it, nurture it, and prepare yourself to receive more than you ever imagined possible. Money flows where it is respected, not feared. Think about this for a moment. How do you truly feel about money? Not just what you say, but the feelings that rise up when you think about it. Do you see it as something elusive, something that slips through your fingers no matter how hard you try? Or do you view it with resentment, believing it's the root of problems, stress, or inequality? These subtle feelings, often buried deep within, shape your entire relationship with wealth. And until you learn to respect money, it will remain something you chase, something just out of reach. Respecting money begins with understanding that it is energy. It's not just paper or numbers in a bank account. It's a reflection of value, flow, and intention. When you respect money, you treat it as a partner, not as an enemy or an obstacle. You take care of it, manage it wisely, and use it with purpose. But most importantly, you stop fearing it. Fear creates resistance, and resistance blocks flow. The more you fear losing money or not having enough, the more you push it away. Shift your perspective and see money for what it truly is: a tool, a resource, an amplifier of your intentions. It is not inherently good or bad, it simply magnifies who you are. If you see money as a force for good, as something that can bring joy, freedom, and opportunities to you and others, it will naturally begin to flow toward you. But this shift requires deep honesty. You must let go of the beliefs you've carried for so long, the belief that money is hard to earn, that it only comes to the lucky or the privileged, or that wanting more of it is selfish. These beliefs are not truths, they are barriers you've unknowingly placed in your own path. Start paying attention to how you treat the money you already have, no matter how little or much it may be. Do you handle it with care, gratitude, and respect? Or do you spend it mindlessly, avoid managing it, or speak about it in ways that reflect lack and frustration? The way you treat even a single dollar reveals the energy you are projecting to the universe. If you want to attract more, begin by respecting what you have now. Respect also means seeing money as something that deserves a place in your life without guilt. Many people push money away because they secretly feel they don't deserve it. They think they must struggle or sacrifice to prove their worth. But wealth is not a reward for suffering, it is a natural result of alignment. When you respect yourself and your value, you will find it easier to respect money. They are deeply connected. The more you honor your own worth, the more money will find its way to you. Imagine treating money as you would a trusted friend. Would you push it away? Ignore it? Fear it? Or would you welcome it, cherish it, and use it to create beauty and abundance in your life? Money flows to those who understand its nature, who see it not as the ultimate goal but as a partner in their journey. Respect opens the gates to wealth. It dissolves fear, replaces lack with trust, and transforms your entire energy. When you respect money, it begins to work for you, and you no longer feel like you're working for it. So release your fears. Release the old stories. Treat money as a reflection of the abundant energy that already exists within you. Respect it, honor it, and watch as it begins to flow into your life in ways you never imagined possible. Wealth doesn't come to those who chase it, it comes to those who are aligned with it, and respect is the foundation of that alignment. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the most abundant version of yourself. What does that life look like? What do you see? A life where your needs are met effortlessly, where opportunities flow to you naturally, where wealth is no longer something you worry about, but something that supports your freedom, your vision, your dreams. Now ask yourself, what do you truly believe is possible for you? Because the answer to that question determines everything. You can only receive as much as you believe you deserve. The limits of your wealth are not set by the world around you, they are set by the beliefs you hold deep within. These beliefs are like invisible boundaries, silently dictating how far you can go, what you can have, and what you think you're worth. If you believe money is hard to come by, that it only flows to others, or that it requires struggle and sacrifice, you'll unconsciously create that reality. Your beliefs are not just thoughts, they are the blueprint of your life, shaping your actions, your decisions, and the energy you emit into the world. The beauty of this truth is that beliefs can be rewritten. No matter how long you've carried a belief, no matter how deeply it's ingrained, you have the power to change it. But first, you must become aware of it. Start listening to the stories you tell yourself about money and success. Are they filled with limitations, excuses, or doubt? If so, ask yourself who taught you these stories. Did they come from your family, your culture, your past experiences? And more importantly, do they serve you now? You are not bound by the beliefs of others. You are not bound by your past. What you believe today shapes your tomorrow, and if you want to step into a life of wealth and abundance, you must believe it is possible. Not just as an abstract concept, but as a truth that lives and breathes within you. To change your beliefs, start affirming the reality you desire. Replace "I'll never have enough" with "money flows to me effortlessly." Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I am worthy of abundance." These affirmations are not just words, they are seeds, and with repetition and faith, they grow into a new reality. Think of your mind as fertile soil. If you plant seeds of lack, fear, and doubt, you will harvest more of the same. But if you plant seeds of wealth, success, and confidence, your life will reflect those beliefs. At first, it may feel strange. Your old beliefs may try to resist, whispering, "This isn't real. Who are you to dream so big?" But you must persist. You must see your new beliefs as already true, even if your current circumstances don't yet reflect them. Your outer world always lags behind your inner world. The moment you truly believe you are deserving of wealth, opportunities will begin to appear. Doors you didn't even know existed will open. People, ideas, and resources will align with your new energy. It's not magic, it's the law of creation. Your beliefs are the foundation of your life, and the stronger they are, the more powerful your reality becomes. So ask yourself, what do you believe you are worth? Because the universe will never give you more than you believe you can have. Expand your beliefs. See yourself as abundant, capable, and deserving of every good thing life has to offer. Let go of the old stories, the ones that told you wealth wasn't for you. It is for you. but only when you believe it, when you claim it, when you step boldly into the truth that you are the creator of your own reality. Trust that life is ready to give you everything you desire, as soon as you believe you are worthy of receiving it. Imagine for just a moment that you are standing in the center of your dream life. Everything you desire is already in your hands. The wealth, the opportunities, the freedom, the lifestyle, all of it is yours, and you can feel it. The warmth of that reality surrounds you, as if it's already here. This is not some far-off fantasy. This is the reality waiting to unfold. And the most powerful tool you possess is your ability to live in that vision, to breathe life into it now. So often people wait for the world to change before they believe it's possible. They wait for their circumstances to shift before they take action, thinking, when I get that job or when I have more money, then I'll start living the life I truly want. But the secret is this: you do not wait for the world to change, you change the way you see the world. The life you desire already exists, and it is waiting for you to step into it by first claiming it as real. When you begin to live in the end, you are no longer waiting for your dreams to manifest. You are walking in them, acting as if they are already part of your life. This is the key to unlocking your wealth and prosperity. Most people operate in a state of lack, believing they are working towards something, waiting for the pieces to fall into place. But this creates a life of constant striving, a life where the dream is always just out of reach. When you live in the end, the dream is already yours. To live in the end means you no longer focus on the gap between where you are and where you want to be. You stop measuring success by external milestones or time frames, and instead you begin to live as if your goal is already fulfilled. If wealth is your goal, start living as if you already have it. This doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not or forcing yourself into an unrealistic mindset. It means aligning your energy with the person you are becoming. You embody the feeling of already having everything you desire. And in that state of fulfillment, the world begins to respond. This is not a fake it till you make it approach. It is a genuine alignment with the energy of your desires. When you live in the end, you are not asking for permission to be wealthy, you are declaring that wealth is your natural state. It's an internal knowing that your desires are not just possible, they are already in motion. You are simply allowing yourself to be the person who already has everything you've imagined. It's in this alignment that opportunities begin to show up in the most unexpected ways. People, resources, ideas, everything you need to bring your vision into physical form will appear as soon as you stop waiting for it to happen. The moment you begin to live in the end, your actions, thoughts, and emotions are in harmony with your highest vision, and that is when the universe begins to move in your favor. This is the power of living in the end. You are no longer a seeker, you are a creator. Your life reflects the belief that everything you want is already yours. This shift in mindset changes everything. It opens up new paths, transforms the way you see challenges, and brings your goals into clear focus. When you choose to live as though your desires are already fulfilled, the world aligns to support that truth, bringing your dream life into reality. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wonder when it will happen. Begin to live today, right now, in the end, and watch how the world changes to match your new way of being. Your dream life is not somewhere in the future, it is right here, right now. The key to unlocking it is the choice to live as if it is already yours. When you do, the universe has no choice but to bring it to you.